to my channel once again. So if you're a new subscriber, oh wonderful, it's good to have you here. And then if you're a returning subscriber, you're welcome back. Just do me a favor to make sure you subscribe and like my video at the end of the day. Okay, today I'm going to be taking you on Orange Knowledge Program. Now this is a program that supports scholarship schemes for the country of Netherlands. Okay, actually there to help people run their programs in Netherlands. It's actually the scholarship scheme of Netherlands. So Orange Knowledge Program 2023 is out already. So I'm going to put you through on what it entails and then how to go about it. First of all, I want to tell you about this scholarship. Now this scholarship is in two forms. You have the short courses and then you have the master's program. Now the short courses could run from 2 weeks to 7 months as the case may be, and then the master's program is for 12 months to 24 months. So depending on the program, the course that you go for. Now they will give you an area of interest for each of the countries I'm going to mention. Now the countries that are enlisted for this 2023 that can apply for this Orange program. So here you have Bangladesh, you have Benin Republic, you have Burkina Faso, you have Burundi, Colombia, Congo, that's the Republic of Congo, you have Egypt, you have Ethiopia, you have Ghana, you have Guinea, you have Indonesia, you have Guatemala, you have Iraq, Jordan, Kenya, Lebanon, Liberia, Mali, Mozambique, Myanmar, you have Niger, you have Nigeria, you have Palestinian territories, you have Rwanda, you have Senegal, Sierra Leone, Somalia, South Africa, and then you have South Sudan. You also have Sudan, then you have Suriname, you have Tanzania, Tunisia, Uganda, Vietnam, Yemen, and Zambia. So then basically the language that are required for this program, you need English or French language skills to follow classes in Netherlands. Now demand for certification language skills differ per institution, but most of the countries that are not English, pure English speaking countries, if you have evidence that you've done your program earlier on in English, it would actually go a long way. So you may not have to write all these IELTS exams. You can just So basically, you need English or French language skills to follow up the classes. But then when you now apply to the institution, because actually for this scholarship, you start from the scholarship page, but you end up with the institution. So when you now go to apply to the institution in question, then they will have to ask of the language skills and then evidence to prove that you are fluent in English or you're fluent in French. So if you've had your BSc in any of these two languages, then it's a win-win situation for you. So you now have priority teams per country. So you're going to look at your own country and then choose the priority team of your own country. That's what OKP is interested in doing in your country. Now for some countries, it has to be to help their political states, like in Nigeria, they want to help the political state of Nigeria. And in some other countries, some of them are for food, agriculture. So you just look at what's your own country, what they need from your own country, and then you move in that direction, and definitely you get this scholarship, hopefully. So I'm going to give you the rounds of this scholarship and then when it's going to end for 2023, and then before we now get into the system to do the application proper. First round for this scholarship is that you submit your applications between February 8th to March 30th. Okay, now for courses starting from July 24th to January 31st, 2024. So if you're interested in running any course that is going to start from July 24th to January 2024, then you must submit your application between 8th of February and 30th of March 2023. Now for the round 2 of this scholarship program, you have to submit your applications from 28th of June to 5th of September 2023 for programs that will be starting February 2024. So basically, I just wanted to have these deadlines in mind so that you would beat the deadline. And finally, all courses must be completed before 31st of August 2024. So whatever course you intend to apply for, be sure that you're going to complete your course before 31st August 2024. So having these dates in mind, we're going to move down to the system now to now see how you can go about your application step by step. But before we do that, be sure you have subscribed. be sure you have liked, and then be sure to also share with your friends. Remember, when you like our videos, it's going to help you to recommend our videos to other young people that are in search of scholarship. The link to this very page on my description button. So here, Orange Knowledge Program. The Orange Knowledge Program aims to contribute to a society's sustainable and inclusive development. Its scholarships are open to mid-career professionals in specific countries. I must say that before you go on to apply for this very scholarship, you must be a mid-career professional. So if you're just a fresh graduate, then this program is not for you, because they would be looking both at your certificate and then your work experience. So this is the page. I've already given us the deadline for the application and about the scholarship, and then here countries that can apply. And even if your country is not among those that are here, just know that it could be updated anytime. But for those countries that are here, you can go on to apply immediately. Then applicants from Indonesia, here is the link for them to apply. So you click on this link and then it will take you through the procedure of your application. Then coming down here, you have the focus team, basically sexual and reproductive health. I'm going to skip this for now. We still need it down on the page. So you have look at the requirements, very important. Now, a limited number of scholarships is awarded to female and male professionals who are motivated, living and working in an OKP country. We've seen those countries above already. And then proficient in English or French, working in one of the priority areas for their country, can motivate using and transferring their knowledge and experience in their employing organization after their studies. Then you agree to the obligations and conditions, and you also sign. Then if you move further, for more information on the general eligibility criteria, for more information on the general eligibility criteria, please read. So I'm going to click on this. It will open up and then we'll look at it afterwards. So language, I've already mentioned that you must be fluent in English and French. And then you don't need, basically, if you're going for a master's program or even a short course program, and then you did your program in English, or you did your BSc program in English or French, then a letter of your English proficiency from your institution can actually serve. So priority team per country. Now each country has its own priority team, but generally we're looking at sexual and reproductive health and rights, security and rule of law, food and nutrition security, and then water management. But then you can still apply even if you're not in this core priority area. So far you can support your application with convincing proofs of what you intend to do with whatever program you will do there in Netherlands when you're back home. So you need employer statement. So you need to download this employer statement where your employer will need to sign and minute on supporting your traveling. So I'm just downloading all those forms that you need here. So afterwards, I'm going to open it so you see how it looks like. Then government statement. You need government statement. Now, not all countries require government statement. Like Nigeria does not require government statement, but you also need to look at other countries and see if your own country requires government statement. And if they do, please, you need to do that as soon as possible. Now, other requirements. The education institution will inform you on the requirements needed for your application now, and that you work within the priority teams for your country as mentioned above. So the priority teams where you work at the moment must have something to do with the priority teams. Now, how the courses will strengthen both you and the organization you work for, how you will use your newly gained knowledge and experience in your organization after your study. So now how to apply, very important. I'm going to look at this how to apply. I'm going to take them one after another. So it's not like you just start application immediately because you meet or because you are equal to the task you when it comes to eligibility. There are actually, it's not a direct application here on this platform. So you still need to visit the university that you're going to do this program in,
and then have speak with one of the persons representing the department or the course that you have chosen or you've selected, and then you find the exact course name that they offer. Remember, what they are giving you on this very website is the priority area, okay, something like water management. But then it is the university that will give you the title of the course that they offer. So now here, check if your application falls within the OKP focus areas determined for your country. We've already done that. Okay, so check if your application falls within this focus area, and then check if you meet up with OKP eligibility criteria still on this page as well. Now find a course on the OKP course list. Please find a study using the filter orange. So I'm going to click on this as well, and it's going to bring us to this point. Now I'll still go back. Now find your study program. So this is where you can click on your study. This is where you can type in your study program. But before I do this, I want us to look through the page, the entire page first, before coming over to this end. Now ask your employer whether they are willing to nominate you for an OKP scholarship. Then contact the Dutch education institution of your choice to receive more information about the application procedure, the academic requirements, and the link to apply online. So you see, like I said earlier on, it's not like you just apply from here. So when you contact them, they will give you the link to apply with online. Now prepare your application, employer statement, motivation, passport, government statement if required. During an application round, submit your application online using the link you receive from the Dutch Education Institution. Please be aware of the application deadline of the educational institution of your choice. Now, deadlines of application rounds, you can only apply for a scholarship during an open application round. I've mentioned these deadlines before, so I'm not going to mention them again, but here you can see the deadlines, 8th February to 30th March, and all the rest of them. So deadlines for institutions. So the institution that you're applying to also have their own deadline. So be sure to also meet up with their own deadline. Now, selection procedure. Now, these are the selection procedure that they are going to take to choose you for this very scholarship. And then the database of the study program, you can also do that. You can find contact information for Dutch institutions in our database. So I'm going to open this database, and then okay, so that's here. So we move upwards. So we've gone through the page and we have seen what is required. Now we are now going to, so now for those forms that I opened earlier on while we were looking at the web page or the requirements, so you can see this is the format for your employer statement. So you're going to follow this format to be sure that your employer statement is in order. You can see the employer statement is to be submitted on official letterhead, dated, signed by the superior of the candidate, and stamped as well. Now this is how it goes. I, name of the superior of the candidate, hereby give permission to so person, name of candidate, and then you put the following declarations, and then you sign, and then here you now choose the interest area of the individual that is going for the program. Then the plan of activity, how does the person intend to run his program, and then that is it. For the next page that we opened is this, and that is the government statement. So remember I said you need to check if OKP requires that you put up a government statement. Okay, so if your own country the statement of government authority is required, then you need to also do this and put it as part of your the documents that you would submit, and then you are good to go for the country focus. So I've downloaded it earlier on while we're looking at the page. So here, so each of the countries has its own focus interest. That is what OKP intends to achieve from offering this scholarship to that particular country. So country focus document. So you need to go through this country focus document, and here all the countries are listed again. And then moving down here, you can see each country and their focus. So you can see Bangladesh. Their priority areas are integrated food and nutrition security, including water and climate change. You have integrated water resources management, you have delta management, maritime development, including port development, and then here you have Benin. Benin Republic, and then you move down to Burkina Faso, talking about sexual and reproductive health and rights, security and rule of law. So these are the areas of interest. So you move down Colombia, you have DRC, you also have Egypt, you have Ethiopia, Ghana, you have Guinea, then you have Indonesia, Iraq, Jordan, Kenya, Lebanon, and then Liberia, Mali. Okay, let's look at Niger, or rather, let's look at Nigeria. So, so for Nigeria, you have human rights and good governance, democratization and elections, security and rule of law, sexual and reproductive health and rights, water management, economic development, food security and agriculture. You have agro-food and horticulture, energy and creative industries. Now, there are two ways to actually find the course of interest. So now you can see the area of interest for those coming from Nigeria. For Palestinian territories, you also have efficient water use, for climate smart agriculture and all the rest of them. Now, how do you now get the courses that are related to this focus area? Now, two ways. Is either you go to Google and then search for courses that are in human rights and good governance, the universities offering them, the course titles, different courses. There are different courses in human rights and good governance. Or you could also go for sexual and reproductive health. That's one way. Another way is the link I opened earlier on, and then it's going to bring me to this point. Find it's going to bring me to this page, the Dutch education. So find your study program, independent and up-to-date overview of English taught programs in Netherlands. Here you find your study program in English taught study programs here in Netherlands. So you now type, let's say, reproductive health. Reproductive health. So you can see, once you just type just the beginning of that focus area, it will give you two different courses that you can find in this area. So it will give you different courses. So you can see we have under reproductive health, you have this University of Groningen, you have this one university here, and then you have them all through. So whichever one, let's say, okay, let me just type water management. So these are schools that offer any of these courses. Okay, you can even see the program. For master's program, you have 289, and then here field of study, you have agriculture and environment. So whichever one you just pick, depending on the focus interest of your country, it will bring a lot of schools for you. And then what they also, let me just click on agriculture and environment. That's what you see, finding program. So it's trying to find, so you can see under what agriculture management or even water management, depending on what is requested of for your country. You see water and environment, so you can go for the master program. You have sustainable water technology, you have international land and water management, you have environment and society studies. So it's going to give you the master part of it, that's you're going for masters, and then the very city where this very institution is, and then expected duration for that particular course. So anyone you choose, let's say we go with Roundabout University for environment and society study. So when you click on it, it's going to bring you further to this place, ready to apply. You visit the course website here, that's the title of Master of Science, and then you still move further. You read through all this, and then admission application requirements, you go through what is requested of you for application requirements, and then afterwards you can now contact the institution, and then when you contact them, you let them know that you are interested in the OKP scholarship, and then they will now tell you whether they still have a slot for the scholarship in their university and for that very particular course. You can see the address here, so if you want to write, you can write this way, or if you want to visit the course website, you can still click here and get to the course website. You can see scholarships as well, so whichever one you want to go about it, You can see everything you need about that particular course. Just be sure to inform them that you are coming in as OKP applicants, and they will guide you through. So once you've gotten a place in that university, you now get back to this page and then still follow through with the application procedure to how to apply. You can see. So here I remember I mentioned find a course on OKP course list. So when you are done with this, now you need to ask your employer about this. And that's when you are done with 1, 2, 3, then you now move further to ask your employer about their nominating you, and then you now prepare your applications, everything, the university offer, the employer statement, the motivation, the passport, and you submit. Okay, so this is all that you need for this particular scholarship. I want to tell you that Netherlands is a place to be. That's all we have for you today. I want to believe that you're going to start your application immediately, looking at the deadline. One is starting by 8th of February, so you can start your application right away. Thank you for tuning on with us. Remember to subscribe and like our videos. Thank you and have a very good evening. Bye bye.